Hi, I thought I'd take you guys with me on a little trip to Haddon Hall today, which features in issue 3 of Tell the Bees, the Britain's Weirdest Ghosts issue. And there's a few little fun bits around here, ghost stories, folklore, some good gargoyles. So I thought I'd bring you along with me and you can come and see them and enjoy some stories.
Haddon Hall is one of the oldest houses in England. It dates back to the 11th century and it's this beautiful, really well preserved example of a medieval house. It's filled with amazing weirdness. It's got gargoyles and grotesques, it's got beautiful carvings and little paintings. There are just treats to find all around the house. There's even a little on site museum in which you can find the death mask of Lady Grace Manners, and she was the daughter in law of Dorothy Vernon, who was the founder of Haddon Hall and had all sorts of films, plays, novels written about her. And Lady Grace Manners um, was the founder of Lady Manners Grammar School just down the road in Bakewell, and the Manners family still own Haddon Hall to this day. Now, there's something special in this old stable house, which is where the toilets are now. And if you go through the door, what you'll find at the back is a Sheela and a gig. Now, Sheela and a gigs, there's quite a few of them, but this is the only one where I know where to find it. So she's there on the back wall with her legs akimbo, as Sheela and a gigs often are. And she's quite well worn, and that's because she used to be on the outside of this building before being moved inside to prevent further weathering. But it's said that she was actually found in a field originally, and she's possibly even older than the house is. Sheilas were contemporary to Green Man, both of which we're not too sure what they mean exactly, but theories are she could be a fertility symbol, something to ward off evil, or possibly even warn against the sins of lust. And there would be more about, but loads of coy Victorian clergymen tried to destroy them. Now, when we head into the hall, we find the location of a haunting from issue 3 of Tell the Bees. In the 1980s, a staff member was ascending these stairs to the long gallery and mid climb came face to face with an Elizabethan woman. He said that the woman spat very loudly on the floor, which is horrible, and then the staff member ran away. Now, this wouldn't have been rude in the Elizabethan times, at which point it was even considered good luck to spit and rude to swallow it. So, yeah, this was one of our rude ghost stories from issue 3 of Tell the Bees. I didn't find out who this ghost was thought to be, but it said that Dorothy Vernon does haunt this, as well as in 1975, the writer Joan Fornan had a vision of some children playing at Haddon, and she believes that one of those children was the child ghost of Lady Grace Manners. This was my first trip to the chapel of St Nicholas, which is this absolutely incredible grade 1 listed chapel. Grade 1 means it's of exceptional historical interest. And this chapel is thought to have been Norman in origin with medieval additions, and this particular building was completed in 1427. So there's all these incredible illustrations all over the wall, this beautiful stained glass. And if we head to the back of the chapel, I was instantly drawn to this picture of 3 skeletons, which I recognised as being from the stories The Three Living Kings and The Three Dead. So this was originally a 13th century poem, and then it sort of changed. It's been adapted and repeated with slightly different versions ever since. But the 13th century poem was a French poem. It told of 3 noblemen, a duke, a count, and a king. And God thought that they prized luxury and their estates and their possessions far too much. And so he held up a mirror to them, and in it they appeared as 3 horrible, rotting skeletons. And God did this to remind them that to God all people are equal and death is inevitable. In other versions of this, the noblemen were out hunting when they met with 3 corpses who were them, who again told them to see the error of their sort of hubristic ways and remember that we all die. So this was a memento mori, which was something that was common and popular in medieval art and literature. And these church wall paintings appeared in medieval times to share the story with sort of common folk who might not be able to read. And there are still about 30 of them left in England at the moment. Usually the 3 living and the 3 dead are put into 2 groups in conversation with each other, but In this instance, the skeletons were on one side of a window, which suggests to me that the three living kings would have been on the other side, but that's obviously not an illustration that survived. I don't think I've ever seen illustrations like this before in a church, so it was something really special. And as I've said, that it says there's only 30 that have survived, so that's not many. According to the Derbyshire Times, Haddon Hall is also haunted by a blue woman, a young boy, and a monk. So there's lots of stories to go with this incredibly historic, incredibly beautiful house. So I hope you've enjoyed learning about some folklore and ghost stories from this sort of beautiful hall. As I said, this has been on my radar for a while. It was in issue 3 of Tell the Bees, the Britain's weirdest ghosts. A spitting ghost is pretty weird, right? That's why it was in there. It's quite horrible though. I remember really agonising about how to write that one. I just really didn't want to have to describe the horrible spitting in too much detail. But that aside, I hope it was enjoyable to see the location where these stories were set, and hopefully I can be back soon with more videos like these. Thanks, bye!